Liffnall in the crease, and they score! Ryan Gallagher gets the first score of the game, and it's 1-0. Oh, scores!
Oh my gosh!
Big shot from Puglisi from the point makes it 2-0.
Nobody saw it. It looked like Petrecka was screened.
Caden Zalazzi gets across Caden, trying to get a shot off, wasn't in his wheelhouse, and it chips it in. Caden just kept battling and eventually chipped the puck over the shoulder of Petrecka. Shorthanded, it's 3-0 New Trier. Gorman gets across ice, Wozniak shoots, scores! So answering shorthanded is St. Viator, and it's 3-1. And we will head to Game 3 tomorrow night for the SHL final, and you'll see it right here on the SHL network. We are live from Centennial Ice Arena for Game 3 of the SHL final, right here on your home for SHL Hockey YouTube Live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome into tonight's broadcast, where we have the ultimate game, New Trier St. Viator, in the final of the SHL playoff tournament, playing for the SHL Cup, right here live from Wilmette. Alongside Tyler Rocky tonight, I am Max Anderson. We'll have all the live game action for you here from Wilmette, along with our outstanding SHL network crew. Quick recap of how we got here so far. In Game 1, it was St. Viator that shocked not just the league, but the state in upsetting New Trier. They trailed by as much as 3-1 late in the second period. Battled back, eventually a game-winning goal from Shaw and Wagner. About 10 minutes left in the third period. Powered St. Viator their first victory over New Trier this season, and it couldn't have come at a better time. Then last night, Game 2 found its way to Mount Prospect Ice Arena. In that contest, it was New Trier who led wire to wire. It was 2-0 late in the second period. An early third period goal seemed like it sealed the fate for Viator. They responded with a goal and then a 5-on-3 opportunity where you thought maybe Viator could find a way to get back in the game, win it on home ice, but it wasn't to be. A late third period empty net goal made it 4-1. So that sets the stage tonight for Game 3 in a rowdy environment. Tyler, we talk all the time about environments like this, games like this, but it is crucially important for both of these teams to not feed too much off this energy and be focused to start this game.
Well, it's always special too when you've got the trophy in the building, and it's sitting right there at the scorer's table as well. You're going to be skating by that thing all game long, and it's going to be in the corner of your eye at all times. So you can't let that pressure of the moment overcome what you're doing out there on the ice, all right? So right out of the gate, I want to see smart hockey. And I know sometimes we see the refs like to take control of a game like this, so you can't do anything really silly out of the gate. You have to keep your composure early on. I know the tempers kind of flared last night after a big hit, but these are two teams that are playing their best hockey right now. And you look at New Trier to come back after going down in Game 1 and kind of getting shocked. But on the other side, St. Viator, one of the best players in the state, Sean Wagner. He can light it up on any given night and is a force to go off for 2 or 3 goals every single game.
It's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere here today, filling up just about to capacity as people continue to file in for Game 3 of this SHL final. Of course, state tournament coming up, but don't get it mistaken. These teams take pride in winning their league. Their goal is win league, win state. Well, the first step of that is winning right here tonight, live from Centennial Ice Arena. Just a moment, we'll step aside as we'll have lineups announced, the anthem, and then we will have puck drop. You can feel the energy in the building, just building. You talk about coming out focused in a game like this. St. Viator at times can get a little bit loose. They like to play to the edge of things, definitely play with an edge throughout the game. So keeping their composure early on, no silly penalties. We've talked about it all series are going to be key.
And sometimes that's the result of that underdog complex too. They know that New Trier is the best team in the state and the best team that they'll see all season long. Now it's going to be their job to make sure they don't let this game get out of hand early.
So we'll step aside, let PA take over and announce tonight's lineups.
First, for the St. Viator Lions, on the 41, John Juros. On defense, number 27, Nick Chiapetta. And on wing, number 77, Benny Wozniak. And right wing, number 9, Ryan Mueller. And center, number 34, Sean Wagner. And in goal for St. Vine, number 72, Michael Petreka. And the coach by Tim and Matt Caddy. And now the starting lineup for your new Trinity champions. On defense, number 36, Kaylee McCarthy. On wing defense, number 67, Agnes Simonson. And at wing number 16, Spencer Lindenthal. And right wing number 76, Ryan Gallagher. And center number 17, Danny Buddington. And in goal for Trevians, number 32, Preston Wong. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, please rise, face the flag, performing the national anthem tonight, Erica Buckley.
Welcome back live to an absolutely buzzing Centennial Ice Arena. Few environments in the state quite like this. Here tonight, both teams getting ready for puck drop. And I don't know about you, Tyler, I think I give St. Viator the crown for loudest student section we've seen all season.
Oh, absolutely. They've been rowdy all game. Well, I mean, the game hasn't even started yet. We're just underway. And they have taken that crown pretty easily.
Underway, shot from the point. Buddington fouls up, chips it over the shoulder. Petreka, awkward bounce taken away by Wagner. He'll play it off the boards, has Wozniak waiting quickly out. Past the stick of Mueller. He's taken down through the neutral zone. No call as we continue on. Wozniak digs in the corner. We saw a big third period goal from Wozniak last night to get Viator back in the game. You thought that might be the start of something for St. Viator. Wasn't to be. So that's why we're here. Game 3 as that puck goes off the heel of Gallagher. Wagner fires it in. And no follow-up past that. Here's McCarthy on to Buddington. Buddington shoots. Blockered away by Petreka. Quick pass between his legs. Right for the waiting Raymond Hart. Hart skates. He skates wide. Carries the puck in behind Preston Watt, starting in net tonight. Max Lee did an outstanding job last night for New Trier, getting them the win. Watt, of course, back in net here tonight for this critical Game 3. Ackery tries to get it across into the slot, but a good stick from Alec Gurn doesn't let that happen. On comes Raymond Hart. He had to leave last night's game for a few shifts. Scary hit he took, was able to come back and looks no worse for the wear. Just missing the stick of Kane. This puck fired deep. And just out of play into the Viator net, and I should say into the Viator student section.
Well, hey, they've been so rowdy, so into the game, and they got a puck a minute and a half in. How about that? I will say this, okay, so we're about 90 seconds in so far, and right now it kind of looks like New Trier is the faster team. They look a lot fresher right now than St. Viator, and it feels like St. Viator is okay with New Trier being the aggressor early on.
They're certainly responding, active sticks so far in their defensive zone, trying to prevent that puck to get into the middle of the ice. That's been a key. When New Trier is able to get in between the circles and have a presence there is when they are really dominant. If you can keep them to the edges, you can have some success if you're St. Viator, as that puck reaches the goal line but no icing. Gorman giving chase to Rusian as well, eventually gets on to Hackett, who plays it out. Max Zelazny up his wing to Caden. Caden looks, shot blocked by Houston. Hard bounce off the backboards. Vituli follows up. Tries to spin around. Another awkward bounce. Able to get it back to the point, and Tyler Nolan deflected in front. Backhanded shot. Petreka able to steer it away. Vituli gets taken out. That's going to be our first penalty. Vituli with a great play around a defenseman. Caused a drawn penalty, and it'll be St. Viator heading to the power play on the trip.
All right, well, we talked about it early on. We said, is it going to be the underdog in this game that's going to make the first mistake? And it clearly is not early on. New Trier with that early tripping call. Now we'll see how they respond. They're a veteran group. They've been in situations like this before. I mean, they've been trailing in this series before with their backs up against the wall. And this is always where things get interesting early in games, is especially when you're only about 2 minutes in, is how you respond to those early mistakes.
Wagner critical. Power play face-off win. Shot from Chiappetta wide of the net. New Trier is going to be able to clear. So you see the effect of Wagner right off the bat, winning a draw, getting an offensive zone opportunity. It's Brian Dolby again, who had trouble staying out of the box last night. On comes Chiappetta. He'll shoot. Rebound given up. Follow-up shot still loose. Steered into the corner. Wagner battles Puglisi there. Now Wozniak follows up. Wagner able to win the puck. Back to the point, Chiappetta. He'll take a shot. Blocked in front, never got through. Hart with a shot back door. Great pad save from Watt, keeping that out of the net. Very close to our first goal of the game. On comes Wagner. He shoots. Knocked down by Watt. Rebound still given up. Loose side of the net. Finally, Watt will just fall on the puck and take a face-off.
Good start right here to the Viator power play. They're getting opportunities. It's just not the quality of opportunities you would have liked. But the fact that you're getting a couple shots on early, getting some active sticks, you're going to see something start to boil here for this Lions offense.
And they're right now playing into their own student section. Clearly feeding off that energy as Canetta and Zelazny come together. Canetta wins another. Houston winds up, shoots. Pat saved by Watt and cleared by Caden. Nicholas Houston will have to retreat back, but a good start to this power play. Much better than last night for St. Viator. A couple of good quality chances already, and they still have a minute left on this power play as Hart carries the puck into the zone, goes around two forwards. Eventually a good stick on the far side by Kyle McCarthy. Disrupts the rhythm. Zelazny comes back the other way looking for a shorthanded goal. It was interesting. As much as the power play played a key role last night, or excuse me, in game 1, with 6 power play goals, no power play goals last night. In fact, 2 shorthanded goals, 1 aside last night. Shorthanded, here comes New Trier, turned around and taken down is Colin Cougar, able to recover. Now 22 seconds left, but such a stark contrast game 1 to game 2. 6 power play goals, 2 shorthanded goals, and no power plays there in game 2. We'll see what tonight brings. So far, 10 seconds left on this power play. It's New Trier that's dominated the last 30 seconds of this power play. Cougar doing an outstanding job, wasting the rest of the time. Charlie Ware able to take the puck. Houston rides him down to the ice. That's the end of the power play. Back to full strength is New Trier. Iverson gets Charlie Ware, now rink wide, taken away by Vituli. Would have been offsides, would have thought. Instead it was waived. So Vituli trying to create an opportunity. O'Rourke takes the puck away from him. Up the far side boards he comes. He drops the puck in deep, played by Petreka. And around the other side comes Vituli. Winning it back is O'Rourke. Chiappetta's able to chip that puck out, so Dolby going to skate all the way back in behind his goal, settle things down, and lead the rush from his defensive spot. Gets the puck up the left side. Boris Joss misses Charlie Ware, and that's an icing. I want to thank our great sponsors here on the SHL Network: CCTY Bearing, OPRF Hockey, Stormy's Tavern and Grill, Cognitive College Advising, GBN Hockey, Carmel Hockey, and Brink Personalized Nutrition. Brink is personalized nutrition for teen athletes. Brink offers nutritionist-designed food and beverages for a performance advantage. Check them out and get started at www.getbrink.co. 11:48 left here in the first period. Sharp angle shot. And it goes in! It's in the back of the net. No one on the New Trier side realized it. And O'Neill gets the first goal of the game for St. Viator.
I heard a whistle. I don't know if this is going to go because the whistle came, and I think he was calling for a freeze out of the glove of Preston Watt, but then you see that puck get dislodged, but you got to think the whistle might overrule that. But I agree with you, it should be a goal, and they're going to take it off. Wow.
That is a huge moment here early in the game. Let's take another look at it here. The shot comes off. Oh boy. That is a huge call early in the game, and I certainly thought that puck got in. Viator will have to fight on. Manerick tries to win this draw. A huge emotional moment here. Viator's got to fight it. Here comes Charlie Ackery. Drops the puck. Babnick shoots. Petreka with a big save. It's exactly what we're talking about. An emotional moment. Thought they had a goal. It was wiped off the board. You got to play on. You can't let an opportunity like that coming right back.
Exactly. I mean, this is now, if you're St. Viator, all right, you've failed one time on the power play already, and then you've probably been on the wrong end of a tough call there as well. How do you respond to that now? This is a big game, okay? You got to play with poise.
So Petreka bailing out as Ackery had a lot of space along the far side wing there. Got a pretty good shot off, but Petreka, who's been outstanding all playoffs long, really the reason Viator has been able to hang the way they have with these Trevians. Now Syverston drops the puck in deep. Spencer Liffendahl trying to throw his weight around, create a physical presence, able to clear the zone. Now cleared back to Syverston. Comes to Liffendahl. And clear. This is going to go the length of the ice for icing. So it's our assumption certainly that the call is that Watt had the puck frozen and a whistle blew before the goal line. It's hard without going back and listening to the broadcast.
From what I saw and what I heard, the whistle came before the puck went over that goal line. However, the puck was dislodged after or before the whistle blew.
Ultimately, it comes down to the whistle. Looking at it one more time, I can see on this replay where the whistle was blown. I mean, it's bang, bang. It really is. It could go either way. That's really.
But
a tough
I lean
play
with
there.
you. I think it should have been a good goal, but the whistle, of course, supersedes.
Callahan a little trouble handling this puck in the neutral zone. Ackery coming back the other way. He skates wide, tries to drop the puck. Trailing him is Babnick. Outside circle, Ackery, he gets checked hard into the boards, and a couple of bodies go down. Canetta joins the play. Trying to force the puck out is Canetta. Comes back to Babnick, backhanded pass, good block shot from Shore. Babnick going around, guys. Sharp angle shot from Kane. Get a lot of space underneath the circle. Got a shot out, but a good save from Petreka. Now Canetta tries to backhand the puck out. Callahan trying to dig it out from his defensive spot. Again, Babnick able to win the puck. Shore whacking at him the entire time, trying to knock him off the puck. Babnick just continues to circle around players. Gets it cross ice to Ackery. Now Babnick in the slot. He skates wide, shoots, he scores! John Babnick gets the game's first goal, and it's 1-0 New Trier.
And that's what happens in big games like this one. You need your stars to step up. And right there, Babnick comes right over the center of the ice. And Nicholas Canetta just couldn't keep up with him right in that middle zone. And just like that, New Trier on top 1-0. You got to know where the stars are on the other side. KYP, know your personnel. And they just lost track of Babnick right there.
So what a turn of events, as Viator thought they were going to be up 1-0. You know, the more I look at it, I've gone back and looked here at our stoppage and play. Deflected shot in front. And Gorman knocks the puck. You could argue whether the whistle should have been blown, but I have a freeze frame right now on my computer that certainly looks like the whistle was to the ref's lips and the puck had not crossed the goal line. So, and you could argue, well, oh, here's a chance for Zelazny. Passes to Kane. Kane wide open net. He scores! And it's 2-0 New Trier.
And just like that, boom, you've got two sloppy plays defensively for St. Viator, and it's led to 2 goals. Now, you can't let the emotions and whatever calls are made on the ice affect your play. It's all about the response in games like these. You are going to be knocked down, especially when you're playing against a good team like New Trier on the other side. But it's all going to be about how you can respond. And right now, St. Viator it feels like they're sorry for themselves right now, okay? And they're content with that.
And we've talked about it. The first goal of the game was scored at 9:49. Second goal of the game at 9:19. We talked about New Trier's ability to score that next shift after a goal. When you start to let down, maybe you send your checking line out. They take no breaks, and they'll come right back at you. And you saw it right here. They scored 30 seconds after their first goal.
Right, we saw that against Loyola in the clinching game for the Trevians, where, I mean, it was just one, then another, and then all of a sudden it gets out of hand, and it's 3, 4, 5, nothing.
7 minutes, 13 seconds in the first period.
So down 2-0. A similar feel for St. Viator as the first 2 games. Obviously able to come back from a 2-goal deficit there in game 1. Got down 2-0 and as much as 3-0 last night. Not able to come back from that as Petreka able to squeeze this shot. The other thing about Petreka, we talked about this last night, is Petreka's incredible ability to never look out of position. It's the first time we've seen him really out of position. He was completely out of his net. That was the easiest goal Trent Kane's going to score all year.
It was, but you also can't blame him. I mean, he is left out to dry 2-on-0, all right? So his mind is all over the place when that play is developing as well. And he really had no shot.
So excuse me, it was Zelazny that scored the goal. Thought it was Caden in front, but official PA informing us that it was in fact Zelazny. A shot side of the net off the netting. Nearly beat Preston Watt from about 100 feet out. Is a hit to the face again by Tyler Nolan, taking a guy down right in front of the referee. We'll let him play on. Big check from Chiappetta. Knocks a Colin Cookers. He enters the zone.
That was Raymond Hart who took one of those big hits, who took one yesterday.
Back out into the neutral zone, under 8 minutes to go. Chiappetta will drop the puck in deep. Euler, big hit behind the boards. He sent Puglisi flying. So St. Viator trying to flex their muscles. Gorman feeds to Rosian. He'll play it back to the point, Jarose, and he can't handle it. Here comes John Babnick. Chiappetta's trying to cover for him. Does a great job of helping his fellow defenseman who had some trouble at the offensive blue line. Dolby drops that puck in deep. Played by Petreka. As he's got Dolby coming right in on him. He gives him a shot on the way by. Giappetta has the puck taken away from him. Dolby wants it back at the point, trying cross ice to Chong. Couldn't get it to him. It was a good stick in the middle to knock that puck free. Ackreach steered off the puck now. Vituli near side half boards. Played back Dolby. He'll drop it in deep again. Babnick. Tarosian not able to get the puck away from Chong. Here's Babnick scores! And it's 3-0 New Trier.
And once again, the St. Viator defense just loses track of Babnick. I mean, it's pretty crazy to me that you do not know at all times where there's a guy who scored 22 goals on the ices at all times, because they've now lost track of him twice. And for that, I mean, you have to know where the stars are on the ice at all times.
And Tim Benz is going to take a timeout as his team's all out of sorts here. Now 3 goals in the last 3 minutes for New Trier, making it 3-0 New Trier, and you nailed it. I mean, way too much space in the high slot. As Harut Tarusian was in the vicinity, but you could see the high slot just open wide up. That's where Babnick heads. Great pass from down below by Acri. Set him up, but wide open in the middle of the slot. That can't happen if you're St. Viator.
And again, we just hit on this as well. You cannot let your mistakes compound against New Trier. Now we're starting to see the domino effect where, all right, sure, it goes 1-0 after about 9 minutes, but then quickly, boom, it's 2-0, and now it's 3-0. I mean, this is playing out a lot like what we saw in that clinching game against Loyola.
And that's why Tim Benz did not wait any longer to take his timeout, settle his team down. And they've just got to find the next goal. That's got to be the mentality. A lot of time left, but you're down 3-0. And you got to start focusing on the little things. That's getting the puck deep, battling in the corners, and finding the game's next goal. That's the key right now for them. 6:48 left here in the first period. On comes Hackett. He feeds Zelazny, trailing the play. Had Caden just out of his reach. Wozniak putting some pressure. Syverson now will take a shot. Deflected a couple times. Just misses the near post. Away with it comes Houston. He'll chip the puck out. And this is the first time we've really even seen the puck on this end of the ice in about 2 or 3 minutes. And it's an icing, so it'll head right back down the other direction.
And this is the time in the game where you have to lean on your stars if you're St. Viator, all right? So, Sean Wagner, what's the play that you're going to make now in a big moment like this? Because we've seen on the other side John Babnick go out there and make 2 really big plays for his team. How are you going to respond as the star on the other side?
Face-off won by New Trier. Back to Tyler Nolan. He winds up, shot blocked. 3-on-1 if they can hurry. At least a 3-on-2 comes Hart. He'll shoot easily into the glove of Watt. Seems like Viator should have made more of that opportunity. Maybe one more pass there from Hart would have created some space, but it'll be an offensive zone draw.
I was just going to make that same exact point. I mean, you had the 3-on-2. You had a third defender on your tail, but if you keep pushing a little bit more, you could have had a much better opportunity than that one.
Face-off draw 1. Here's Hart. He loses the puck off his stick. He had a great chance there right in the between the circles. Couldn't get a shot off. You compare and contrast that to the 2 opportunities Babnick has had on the other end that he buried him. That's why we're at 3-0 right now. Back the other way comes Gallagher. Gallagher gets the puck on. Backhanded shot. Puglisi, a little nifty play to kind of direct that towards the Viator goal. Very nearly squeaking past Petreka. Taken away, Buddington. Tarosian able to win it back. Play it wide to Gurn. Gurn a little bit of space along the far boards. Here comes Gurn. He stops, waits, drops the puck deep. Gives Canena a chance. Behind the play comes the Hart. Backhanded shot goes off the netting. Wraparound attempt. It was O'Rourke who came back and stopped that wraparound attack from being on net.
And right now,
and Petreka, we're going to have a penalty, and I think it's going to go against Viator.
Right now, there are too many players on the St. Viator side trying to play hero ball. I mean, you are looking at a team that's down 3-0, and some guy is trying to make too big of a play as opposed to trying to let a play develop. You've had a couple opportunities, a couple good looks, but you're squandering them by getting a premature shot off.
So we'll await. I think it's Al Gurn that's going to get the penalty.
It's time for a neutral power play.
It is Gurn who's going to finally step into the box. So the first power play opportunity here for New Trier. Already up 3-0. And we've really reached a critical moment in the game for St. Viator. Right off the bat, Acri, top of the circle. He skates up top, has Dolby waiting. One-timer, shoots! Save, backdoor Acri. He pauses, back to Dolby. A shot into the glove of Patrek. A lot of traffic in front, saw it all the way. It was a tripping against Al Gurn, and we're only 13 seconds into that power play.
And listen, this is the time in the game where if you're St. Viator, you have to strap in, because this New Trier team, if they get goal number 4 here, good luck outscoring them by 4 for the rest of the game.
Absolutely. They took everything they could muster in game 1 to score 4. And they were in the game most of the time, down 4-0. It would be hard-pressed to find that as an opportunity for St. Viator. Able to clear the puck is Viator now. Back to play it is Dolby. A little bit of confusion as Euler plays the puck. Able to waste a little bit more time. Wagner comes over, does the same. He's right on the trail of Dolby, just trying to waste as much time on this power play as Lasny whiffs on that centering attempt. On comes Kane. And forced out again by Euler. So better looking penalty kill here by Viator. Babnick cross ice, lets it go. Kane deflected in front. Big rebound came to Euler. Zelazny takes it away. Top of the circle. Here's Dolby. He scores! Brian Dolby's one-timer from between the circles makes it 4-0.
You know what? I mean, that's a big play by a big-time player, an all-state guy in Brian Dolby, but I mean, the frustrations just came out on the St. Viator side. Kevin Euler, after that goal, chucks his stick towards the bench, and you can see where this team is right now. They let the mistakes stack up, and one mistake led to 2, led to 3, led to 4, and now you're in a 4-goal hole early on.
And this is what we've seen New Trier do to teams all season long. They don't just beat teams, sometimes they can just dominate teams, and this is the number 3 team in the state we're talking about. And we're going to have a power play again, as Houston's going to be called for a hold. I thought it was Houston, excuse me, it's Charlie Ware. The ref pointed at Houston, blew the whistle once Viator touched the puck. Not a mistake.
Time of the power play goal, 12 minutes, 41 seconds of the first period. Richmond power play goal scored by Dolby. Assist by Acri and Zelazny.
Another assist for Acri. A lot of times with this New Trier team, we talk about the depth they have. We've seen so many games where some of the depth scoring comes out. The stars have come out tonight for New Trier. Acri, Babnick, Zelazny, Dolby all over the score sheet. Tonight's the night the stars certainly came to play for New Trier.
And usually in a game like this, there's an odd first goal scorer, right? I mean, you usually see one of those supplementary pieces show up like that. But no, it's been Babnick, it's been Dolby, it's been the stars today for the Trevians.
And it's been wicked wristers, it's been one-timers. It hasn't been dirty goals. It's been magnificent snipes and moves around defenders. And New Trier flexing their muscle here in Game 3 of the SHL Final. There's an opportunity for Viator, down 4-0. Every opportunity like this feels like a must. Feels like they have to get a goal here, if for no other reason than to stem the momentum. Get themselves feeling a little bit better about themselves, because it's been a rough 5.5 minutes here in the first period. Knocked down, big shot, Mueller off the post. Sometimes that's how it goes. It seems like that kind of night for Viator. Big shot from Mueller. Couldn't go. Good pass. Wagner off the post again. A follow-up shot. Big block from Trent Caden. Gurn now swings to Houston. He'll shoot off the post again. 41 seconds to go here on the power play. Wagner looks. He'll throw it again. Now he'll shoot, fired up by Watt, knocked out by Tyler Nolan. Comes to Mueller. Mueller looks, he'll go back to the point. Houston shoots, blocked in front by Caden. And a big collision by Houston and Caden. And they'll have to clear with 13 seconds to go here on the power play. Viator looking for one more opportunity. Throws that puck in deep. Here comes Nobregas. Not able to get possession. That's the end of the power play as Charlie Ware comes out of the box for New Trier. Up comes Ryan Gallagher. Gallagher in behind the net. He circles, he looks. Passes wide, Syverson winds up, shoots, deflected, had a wide open net. Back door, no one from New Trier waiting for it. Big hit here from Gallagher. He's starting to throw his weight around. He takes a shot wide of the net. Now Kanana plays on McCarthy, throws it out in front, waiting for it there. It was Nobregas who ices the puck. It felt like he had a little moment there where he could have looked up ice and not necessarily taken an ice, but cleared. This will give New Trier an offensive zone opportunity.
Well, how frustrating is that last power play now for St. Viator? I mean, everything had been going the wrong way. It was a little Murphy's Law. Anything that could go wrong was going wrong. And then that compounds onto that with a double crossbar. You don't see that. I mean, that's just the type of night it is for St. Viator.
You talk about making your own luck. In this case, Viator started to play right, obviously on the power play. Cycled the puck well, got good possession, got good shots off, clean shots through, and sometimes they just don't go. Now Chiappetta with 1:09 left. He's upended as he tried to clear the puck. On comes O'Rourke. O'Dolby calling for it back of the point. Said O'Rourke skates. He'll get it far side. Shot! That might have gone off the crossbar. Hard to tell on that end of the ice. We're under a minute left to go in the period. Here's Euler. He'll look. He'll shoot easily. Glove saved by Watt. 49.8 left here in the first period. 4-0 New Trier.
All right, now if you're St. Viator, you're starting to get a couple looks here late in the period. I think what this team really needs right now is just to get out of this first period and with a clear head, all right? Because you're starting to get some opportunities. Eventually one of these has to go in, and then maybe you can start the dominoes on your end.
Wagner, Pestering finally able to win the puck back. Tries to get it out in front, Wozniak. Watt alertly uses his stick to prevent that from happening. And clearing the puck is New Trier. Knocked down Ackery, nice play by him. Tries to drop to McCarthy. McCarthy didn't quite see what he was getting at. And eventually puck comes out, 20 seconds left in the period. On comes Wagner. He gets sandwiched and an elbow thrown by Kane. Don't get a call there. Throws with 7 seconds to go. Chiappetta drops it in deep. Wagner battling in front. And a shot right at the end of the period. Some testiness starting to come out of these two teams here at the end of this first period. But the ultimate score right now, 4-0. New Trier leads after one. Take a quick timeout. Catch our breath, come back with second period action in just a moment. Right here on your home for SHL Hockey, YouTube Live.
Shots on goal for the first period.
Back live, second period action from Centennial Ice Arena. It was all New Trier in the first period in game 3 of this SHL final. 4-0 after 1. And this is the dominant New Trier green team we've been waiting to see here throughout this final. It's been Viator's frustrated them for the most part. Obviously winning game 1. Very competitive game 2. Raymond Hart trying to dart to make a play. Wozniak can't reach that puck. And cleared by Zelazny. Alongside Tyler Aki, I'm Max Anderson. Along with our great crew, here's Trent Caden. Tries to drag around Chiappetta. Can't. Now Chiappetta without a glove here. As that puck poked out of the zone by Ackery. And back to play it now is Dolby. Dolby gets absolutely crunched, and we're going to have a penalty as Raymond Hart crushes Dolby into the boards. And that's going to be at least 2 minutes. Dolby a little bit slow to get to his feet. Eventually, he does get up. "16 minutes to go here in the second period. Two-minute minor. Back to the power play goes New Trier. And you know what Coach Bidwell is saying to his team right now is we are up 4-0. We are in control of this game. No one do something stupid that can get you in trouble for the state tournament coming up.
Right, exactly. I mean, again, it's nice to win the SHL Cup, but at the same time, the eyes on the prize, and that is the state title. And you've got an inside track, especially if you do win the SHL Cup. But I mean, you have to show that you can maintain your own composure here late.
That's got to happen again. The last thing they need is to lose a key cog going into this state tournament. So keep an eye. I know I saw Coach Bidwell emphatically speaking with his team as he walked back to the bench. I can only imagine that had to have been the message down on the New Trier bench. Mueller comes flying in, swinging around Puglisi. He shoots and just wide of the net. Now collecting it as Liffendahl plays it back to Nolan, winds up, shoots, bad save. Petreka. Houston and Liffendahl battling. Eventually, Liffendahl takes a tumble. Nolan takes a shot blocked in front. Alec Gurn collects the puck, able to clear it. St. Viator trying to pick up the physical play, see if that can spur something. Wagner shorthanded, Euler to follow. 51 seconds left on the New Trier power play. And spun back all the way into their own zone by Viator, and they're going to look to waste some time here. And we're going to get another penalty. Things are getting ugly down here on the other end of the ice. I think it was Tyler Nolan who's going to be guilty of the penalty, or is it going to be both of them? They might be coincidentals.
Brian Dolby just checked back into the game, so that's a good sign right there. But right away, he goes up to his teammate Tyler Nolan and says, all right, contain your head. You have to stay focused on this game. We're not out for retribution right now.
So let's see what the officials sort out here. With 14:44 left in the second period.
You know, it's that type of leadership from Dolby. Like, he was the one who received that hit. He should be the one that wants to retaliate, but no, that's why he's got a C on his chest, because he's going to tell his team, all right, we're up 4 goals, all right? We are on top right now, and we're not trying to squander that because we've got a good thing going, and it's not worth messing it up over one stupid, silly retribution hit.
So is this going to be a 5-on-3? That's certainly what it's looking like here.
It's time for New Trier.
And that is exactly what it's going to be. 45 seconds of 5-on-3 coming. And Viator in danger of that 5-goal margin. Only moments into the second period.
Oh, I think we just got an ejection.
not see what happened, Tyler. I was raking some notes as that happened.
It looked like there was some jawing back and forth.
Chiappetta at least just got another penalty. And this is getting out of hand.
Yeah, it was right at that face-off circle. Someone said something to someone. It must have went back and forth.
Let's see if we can see. Oh, you can see great camera work by our guy, Matt Booten. There's clearly something being said. No physical contact. We have no idea what was said. And he points. He just sends him out. I don't know if that was a penalty. It's unclear at the moment. We're still trying to get this sorted out. Complete mess over at the scores table. They're trying to figure all this out as well.
My
so
guess
it's going to
be 10-minute unsportsmanlike.
And it's going to be a 45-second 5-on-3 followed by a 3 minutes and 15-second Acri shoots blocked. But it will be a 3:15 remaining after the 5-on-3. Assuming New Trier doesn't score before then. On comes O'Rourke, feeds in Babnick. He shoots over the glove and net of Petreka and cleared out by Kanana. So I'll be honest, folks, I am behind here. There's been so many penalties here in the last few minutes. Trying to make note of them all. Be like counting the grain of sand in the beach. Here's O'Rourke. Excuse me, here's Acri. Great pass, backdoor, scores! Unbelievable pass from Charlie Acri. And he finds Max Zelazny. Make it 5-0.
And again, this is what happens when you let your emotions get out of hand. This really is. You can chalk up this loss to St. Viator letting the little things get to their head. I mean, you see it in their play, you see it in their frustration, the throwing of sticks, everything. And it's all mounted up, and now you're in a 5-goal hole.
Still a significant amount of conversation going on behind the scores table, just trying to sort all of this out as this puck comes bounding into the New Trier bench. .14:03 left here in the second period. Just a dominating effort by New Trier, being aided by some undisciplined play by St. Viator here the last, we'll call it 6 minutes or so. Now Syverston will drop the puck deep. Gives on to Hackett, back to Syverston. Tries to swing Pugliese a little bit out of his range. He takes a shot, knocked down. And Houston able to clear. I'll be honest with you, especially with Viator having a game Saturday, their first state game, a little surprised that Petreka is still in net. He's played a lot of hockey for these St. Viator Lions. You never want to give up necessarily, but there's bigger goals ahead for St. Viator. And if they're going to win a state championship, Petreka's going to have to be a key part of it. So we'll keep an eye if he ends up playing the rest of this game on how much hockey he's played. Now Syverston skates wide, drops. Unable to clear his Viator. 2:27 left here on the power play for New Trier. On comes Zelazny, rink wide and Acri. Can't quite hang on to the puck as he comes through. Nobregas tries to dig it out, able to get it on to Mueller, and he's able to clear. Going to carry it down the ice, see if he can waste a little bit of time. And we're going to have another penalty against St. Viator. Here comes Babnick, very nearly a backhanded goal. Chance out in front, O'Rourke scores! And it's 6-0 New Trier. And just like that, New Trier is going right back to the power play. As there was a delayed penalty while New Trier scored that goal. Preston Watts skates all the way to his bench and fist bumps every one of his teammates. The referee promptly tells him to get back to his net, but clearly no love lost between these two teams right now.
Right now, if I'm St. Viator, I gotta pull Michael Petreka right now. I mean, I will say this: it's not even his fault. I mean, the defense has not shown up tonight for St. Viator across the board. Missed assignments. You don't know where certain players are on the ice that are goal-scoring threats at all times. And Petreka is just the victim of the number on the scoreboard right now. He is not the reason why there's a 6 slapped up there, I'll tell you that, because he made some big saves through those first 9-10 minutes.
And we've talked about Petreka, this series especially, has been so good. And really the reason they're able to pull out game 1, yeah, they got the offense they needed, but he's the reason, A, they stayed in last night's game, B, the way they were able to win game 1, and now he is really behind the 8 ball. You can see him in that clearly.
And right now, I mean, the thing for me is I don't want to shatter his confidence.
No, he's
going
so
into
good.
the state playoffs.
We saw him in that series against Stevenson be outstanding as well. Did a couple of those games and saw him the entire way. Here's Ware on the power play. New Trier already up 6-0. He'll shoot, blocked in front by Jarosz. Now another chance. Cougar shoots, saved by Petreka. Here's Chong. Able to clear out New Trier. And again, at this point in the game, it's frustrating if you're St. Viator. You just got to be smart. It's 6-0 against the top-ranked team in the state. You just have to stay smart at this point.
Scored by number 9, Brian O'Rourke. Assisted by number 22, Daniel Pugliese.
Outside of that, Chong tries a wraparound. Petreka holds that off.
Scored by O'Rourke, assisted by Pugliese at 4:31.
Chong carries the puck in, drops back to Liffendahl. Liffendahl shoots, comes back door. Buddington a little too hot as it got to him. Feels like St. Viator has been on a power play for about 15 minutes. And now Houston down behind the play, deflected. He finally gets to his feet. Another hit. And this is Liffendahl's side of the net. Liffendahl circles, drops back to the point. Nolan now to Kyle McCarthy. McCarthy skates. Canena all over him. Gallagher collects, tries to get it across. Nolan finally does. Nolan doesn't get much on that chop, and Viator's able to clear. That just ended the power play, so that face-off draw going to come back into the Viator zone. But finally off the power play are the Viator Lions. One of the longer stretches I feel like I can remember where a team just stayed on the power play.
Yeah, they're going to have to reacclimate to playing with 5 guys on the ice out there.
And all jokes aside, it was an undisciplined 10 minutes or so, and it really caused this game to get away from them. Another icing as we'll come back. I want to thank our great sponsors here on the SHL Network: CCTY Bearing, OPRF Hockey, Stormy's Tavern and Grill, Cognitive College Advising, GBN Hockey, Carmel Hockey, and Brink Personalized Nutrition. Eric getting in a face-off draw opportunity. It'll be really interesting to see how this game's managed on both sides the rest of the way. Viator plays Saturday, New Trier plays Sunday. And these teams have played a lot of hockey recently, so I'm sure we'll see a little bit more depth play from either side. Try to save some energy. If you're Viator, you're just looking for something to go right. Here's Caden. He shoots, just misses a goal. He's hit hard as he got rid of the shot. He's slow to get to his feet. Now Zelazny gets it back to the point. Chong, his shot missing the net. Callahan following. He'll clear the puck out. He'll drop the puck deep. Under 9 minutes left here in the second period as this game has taken a theatric turn here in the stands. As I suppose both sides starting to try to entertain themselves in some different ways. Cooler heads prevail. With 8:44 left in the second, another icing. As excited as we were to do this game, Tyler, just the energy in this building to start the game. Both fan bases, it went away pretty quickly. And at this point, both teams on the ice know it's inevitable at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is what happens when you let your emotions get the best of you. And that's what happened with St. Viator in this game. And it turned into 1 goal, then 2 goals, then 3 goals for New Trier. And now it's just out of hand to the point where there is no coming back, because even if you can put up 6 goals, you're guaranteed to give up a couple more along the way against a team like New Trier.
They haven't really even had offensive zone possession in some time.
No, they had that one stretch towards the end of the first period where they were on the power play and then had a couple other solid looks, but outside of that, absolutely nothing. I mean, this St. Viator team looks dead right now.
Now Cougar carries the puck, gets O'Rourke in the slot, shoots just over the crossbar, fouled shot, score, Charlie Ware! And it's 7-0 New Trier.
I mean, you can see, and this is game 3, an elimination game in the championship. And, I mean, there is no effort. There is 0 effort on the St. Viator side right now. And it's disheartening to see that for these kids. Some of them are playing their last ever SHL game. And they have decided to throw in the towel.
Yeah, you would wish to see a little bit better effort. You saw, I mean, Charlie Ware it was O'Rourke first who was just hanging out between the circles. No defender within 10 feet of him. Misses the shot, gets deflection. Ware, side of the net, gets a clean look.
And as sad as it is to say, but I mean, you look at the way that this St. Viator team has played defense now, it's not far off from how they started the game playing defense. Just losing track of players all over the ice. I mean, that's just the way it's been drawn out today for the Lions.
If there's a silver lining at all for St. Viator, is it's so bad. Well, let's be honest about it. It's so bad that you can go back. I don't even want to say you can learn much from this game at this point. You can at least make the point of defensive positioning. It has to start there. Yeah. For some reason tonight, defensive positioning fell apart entirely in their own zone, and that's something they have to fix before the state playoffs.
Right. I mean, it's just being aware of where specific players are on the ice. I mean, you get your scouting reports. You know who are the difference makers on each side. And for you to just absolutely ignore John Babnick, who's got a hat trick in this game, and one of the leading scorers in the league, that's on you.
New Trier goals scored by Ware, assisted by Everett and Cougar at 9-17. New Trier penalty number 17, Danny Bunnington. To the minor penalty.
Puck comes loose, finally for Wozniak, on to Mueller, who has his stick whacked out of his hand. Simon Chong gonna head to the penalty box, so now a 5-on-3 here for Viator. And I won't call it a comeback if St. Viator can find one, but it'll at least be a start.
Yeah, I mean, right now if you're St. Viator, you want to make it your goal to not have that running clock in the third period. I mean, that's you want to try to build up little goals now at the end of these games where you know you're not coming back, but just build up little goals, all right? I want to accomplish this by the end of the second period. I want to accomplish that by the end of the third. Get this out of the rest of the game.
And that's got to be the message behind the bench as well. It's been in this position from a coaching perspective. We'll pick this back up here in a second. Here's Gurn. A little bit of trouble handling the puck. Gets it on to Houston. Back up top, Gurn. Gurn looks, he'll shoot, gets a deflection. It nailed somebody on the Viator side in front, and he's down and hurt. Can't tell who that is down. I think it's Mueller. That's Euler, not Mueller. He's able to get to his feet, but that took a bite out of him. And New Trier able to clear, so 53 seconds remain on this 5-on-3 opportunity. Houston carries on. Here's Wagner, drops Euler. He'll shoot, saved by Watt. Wagner in behind, has Gurn. Gurn passes, shoots from Houston, a deflection side of the net. Euler leaves it side of the net. Wagner up top, Gurn. The goal comes off its post right as Alec Gurn had an opportunity between the circles, and I mean, nothing can go wrong.
It's the day of the
Viator.
quick whistle against St. Viator, isn't it? I mean, let's just recap how this game started. I mean, about 9 minutes in, believe it or not, Viator had a chance to lead this game and probably should have, but there may have been a little trigger happy on the whistles for the referees as the puck slipped through the hands of Preston Wadden over the goal line.
I can only imagine how differently this game might have gone had it been Viator that got that first goal.
Oh, absolutely.
Still 24 seconds on this 5-on-3. Here's Wozniak. He winds up, fakes a shot. Gorman, far side circle, gets it back to Rose at the point. Drops the far side circle. Gorman back up top to Rose, shoots, blocked in front, Trent Caden. Don't tell him his team's up 7-0. He's still putting his body out on the line. Here's Chiappetta. A shot wide of the net. Wozniak, that's the end of 5-on-3 as Max Zelazny comes darting in. Wozniak drops down Gorman. Wozniak comes in, that's going to be a penalty for roughing, and off goes Wozniak.
This has been a long game too, when you get into all the penalties that have taken place. I mean, already now we've had over 8 penalties through not even 2 periods. And it's just absolutely slowed the pace of this game down.
It's been a crawl. It's been a really long second period. There's still 5:14 left in the second period. Feels like we ended that first period about an hour ago. Out in front was Babnick looking for a hat trick. That's where I would feel like this has come for New Trier. Both Babnick and Zelazny have 2 goals. I'm sure they would love to rub it in a little bit more and find a hat trick. Chance backdoor, looking for that hat trick, but a huge save from Petreka. He's still giving everything he can. He gets a nice tap on his shoulder, tap on the pads from his teammates. He hasn't given up here tonight.
That's the thing about New Trier. I mean, they've shown the effort, even though they're up 7-0. It doesn't even feel like they're content right now. They're dominating in the offensive zone. They're getting the better possessions out of both of these teams, even with a monstrous lead like this.
Wow, move by Babnick, but Tarosian ready for it. Seen those moves all night from Babnick as New Trier gets a little bit of time here on the power play. Zelazny and Babnick, you know, they would love to find that hat trick here. At this point in the game, it's kind of what you're playing for. Cross ice Cade into Babnick, shoots! And saved by Petreka. 4:06 left here in the second period. Unless St. Viator can find a way to score 3 goals in the last 4 minutes and 6 seconds, we had planned to bring you during the second period intermissions. Here's Tyler Nolan. Skating around Colin Cooker. O'Rourke cross ice past Nolan. El Puglisi. Onto O'Rourke. Tries to get it across. Shot in the slot from Ware, just wide of the net, ridden down by Houston. Now comes Cougar. O'Rourke, we're seeing some depth on New Trier, getting some opportunities here on the power play, some different looks for the Trevians with 18 seconds left on the man advantage. Cougar gets checked off the puck, coming to support his Ware, but able to force it out is Mueller. Puck loose in the slot, but couldn't follow it up. Back the other way comes New Trier. Cougar looks, rink wide, tries to get it into Ware, who's darting down from the high slot. Couldn't. Sean Wagner out to keep playing, and that puck goes far enough for icing. Starting to say was our plan was to bring you, during the second period intermission, SHL president and GBN head coach Evan Poulikitis. We were going to have that interview, but we don't have time to even clean the ice. Fortunately, we're not going to be able to bring you that interview. I usually like to do a state of the league here during the championship series. Planned on doing that here tonight. Fortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to get Evan on. But we can tell you the state of the league is strong. So I can speak on behalf of the league that from these broadcasts, as well as moving to 10 teams, really great tournament here that we've had in the playoffs. Accurately shot, this game notwithstanding. But the growth of the SHL network, the fans that were able to reach, more people able to enjoy and embrace high school hockey here in the state. Wagner, backdoor. Wozniak shoots, he gets ran over. And that puck goes out of play, but with this being our last official SHL broadcast of the year, before we get too far along, we do want to thank you for joining us all season long. Not the ending any of us expected here with this blowout as New Trier leads 7-0 with 2:23 left in the second. We appreciate you taking the ride with us all season long, starting way back in October. October 12th, I believe, is our first broadcast of the season. And here we are just a day before March, or 2 days before March.
Oh, the leap year tricked you up, huh?
It did. It did. We thank you for joining us every single night. Such loyal viewers. I can tell you, we'll do a little bit more on the SHL between periods. These are some notes I certainly want to bring you folks in terms of the support we've gotten. So we'll talk more about that as Simon Chong circles around, looking for someone in front. Here's O'Neill, provider, trying to scoop it out. Gallagher following it. O'Neill able to play it out. Down comes Manerick. He shoots, gets his rebound. Dolby swings this around the board. Chiappetta keeps it in at the point. That shot wide. Charlie Ackery shoots, but knocked down in front. Gorman. Minute 15 left here in the second period. Hart just fires the puck on net from the blue line, and he'll head for a change. A little bit slow getting off the ice. Watt again has that puck pop out of his glove.
1 minute to play in the second period. 1 minute.
Into the neutral zone comes Babnick. He skates wide. He looks in the slot. He'll pass it, looking for a deflection from Ackery. Couldn't go. Played out by Vituli. Quickly, he's got Kyle McCarthy all over him. Kanena pins Kane against the boards, and the puck's thrown in deep. 10 seconds remaining here in the period. Puck comes in on Petreka. 3 seconds, and that will do it for the second period. All New Trier here tonight in Game 3 of the SHL Final. Not a whole lot to say other than complete domination here tonight from New Trier.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at the scoreboard, you look at everything that has gone down between these two teams, and you're just seeing a mature team on one side and one that is letting emotion get to their heads on the other.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's no ice cut.
So, I mentioned we started to talk about the great support we've had here on the SHL network. Did want to share this with you, as earlier today we were going through
Score after 2 periods of play, New Jersey 7, St. Piper's
some of the stats on the league, and what we can tell you is that in the last 90 days of broadcast, which goes back to roughly December, so YouTube Live doesn't give us anything more than those 90 days, over 5,000 unique viewers have viewed the SHL game of the week. 5,626 unique viewers to be exact, and total views of these broadcasts this season. So I mentioned 90 days for those unique viewers, but views this season of the games this season, over 24,000 views of the SHL network. And that's all you great folks are at home, around the country, and my favorite stat of all, Tyler, around the world. We've had viewers from the US, Canada, the United Kingdom, Brazil, and Bangladesh.
Well, how about that? The SHL network getting their passport stamped.
And we certainly have. Obviously, only a couple of views from Bangladesh. Not a huge fan base growing out there of the SHL. But you imagine somebody on vacation
Maybe an
just
expansion team out there? What are we getting?
We'll see how we can work that into the travel budget. We're already, the NFL's already trying to figure out how that would work for London. I don't know that Bangladesh would work, but no, we in all
Hey,
seriousness.
Vegas went to the Cup their first year as an expansion. Why can't the Bangladesh team do it?
In all seriousness, folks, we really do appreciate it, and know that the emails I receive, the tweets we get, the comments we get, the people coming up to us at games, both positive and negative feedback, don't worry, we hear you. We know we're not perfect. We know sometimes we can be a little bit harsh. We can have some choice words for plays we see. We try to never make it personal. It's never about the person. It's about the play. But all in all, folks, we hear you, and we appreciate you, and know that all season long, we appreciate you being reached out. We're going to take a step aside real quick, catch our breath, come back with third period action in just a moment. Back underway here in the third period. 7-0 our score, so unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your perspective, we're going to have a running clock in the third period. It was an onslaught in that first period and that second period. 4 first period goals, 3 second period goals. So again, we talked about it, Tyler, that you hope the message on the Viator side, here's Wagner, following it up to Rosian, and just that kind of night is, it's Euler that trips.
A little friendly fire there.
But it's been that kind of night, and if you're, as hard as it is, I started to talk about this before, I coach myself, I coach baseball, I coach football. In these blowout moments, you have to find a way to stay focused on the end goal, right? Tonight is not the end goal for St. Viator, right? You have to find a way, whether it's next practice, I don't know if they're going to practice between now and Saturday, I would think they wouldn't. But to find something in this third period that can change your spirit, because in 48 hours isn't much time to turn around and play another hockey game after the way they've lost here tonight. So in this third period, they have to be hyper-focused on the little things. Like you said, find a goal. Don't get shut out here tonight, right? You know, make it to the point, after you can get one goal, make it to the point where you can stop that running clock.
Right, and you got to get it to a point where you have to clear your mental state right now, because no one on the St. Viator team is going to be in the right headspace heading into their next game in the state playoffs. If this loss is going to linger, don't let one loss turn into two. And we've kind of seen letting up one goal turning into letting up 2 goals. Don't let that happen in the standings, okay? This only counts for one loss
It's a painful loss, no doubt about it. They really came into this game, talking to the coaching staff, some of the players beforehand, they really came into this game thinking they've competed with New Trier 2 straight games, that they have a chance to win this. Here's a shot from Dolby, looking to make it 8 goals. They really felt like the way they played game 1, where they skated right with New Trier. Game 2, a better performance from New Trier, but they were still right there. It felt like a couple things go right, and they had a chance, and it just felt like right from the very beginning, when that goal was disallowed, it tumbled down from there. It was probably only about a minute after that first goal was scored. 30 seconds after that, and the second goal was scored. About a minute after that, the third goal scored.
And that's just how New Trier rolls in certain games. They get one, and then they turn it into 2, 3, 4, and then boom, just like that, you feel like you're out of the game.
14:04 left here in the third period. That pass missing Hackett, but he gets to it before it reaches the length for icing. Collected by Nolan. Back up top, Puglisi deflected in front by Caden, looking for another goal. Winds up, shot from Puglisi, knocked down in front, swings it across, Tyler Nolan. Controversial figure from game 2. Gets it near circle, Caden into Hackett, puck loose in front of Petreka, still in net. And as good as he's been, a little bit surprised he's still in there, but I wonder, he doesn't want to go off the ice, doesn't want to leave his teammates, but sometimes you gotta protect your kid from himself, but he wants to keep battling.
Right.
So talking to him, tough kid who wants to keep playing. Chiappetta in the corner. Able to get it around Callahan. He's able to clear the zone, back Puglisi. Bregas gets driven into the boards by Liffendahl. That's going to be a penalty against New Trier. Liffendahl, no stranger to the penalty box. Certainly plays with an edge. One of those players for New Trier that certainly sense the tempo.
Coach Mountain probably thinking right now, seriously? I mean, that's the only thing that stops the clock at this point.
.12:10 left here in the third period. 2-minute minor going against Liffendahl. And at this point, like we talked about for Viator, your sole focus has to be, let's get one on the board. Let's get one on the board, and I feel like we didn't come here for absolutely nothing in terms of the score sheet. Able to clear it. Here's Buddington. Hang it on is Petreka. Sent in deep. Terosian will try to get something done on the forecheck. And quickly played up the boards. Wagner keeping it in, at least for the moment. Circling around Wagner. Wagner looks back up top circle. Giroux, shot blocked by Gallagher. And Gallagher tries to clear it. Kept in, at least for the time being, by Euler. Euler turns, shoots wide. Following it up now, Giroux. Wagner avoids a shot.
Spencer Liffendahl, 2-minute minor penalty for roughing. Time of the penalty, 4 minutes, 50 seconds in the third period. Future penalty, Liffendahl, 2 minutes for roughing at 4:50.
Well, right now for New Trier, I mean, we talk a lot about what we want to see now out of St. Viator for the remainder of this game and how they're creating. Oh, that cannot feel good. Is that referee drilled by a puck there? But so for New Trier, what you want to see out of your team is just, I want to see the defensive intensity for the full game, all 3 periods, because that's something that this team, as good as they are offensively, something that has always impressed me from watching them all season long is their ability to lock down defensively. I mean, we have seen shutouts, we have seen dominant performances. I think back to one against Stevenson, as they finally get one on the board that time. But good for Benny Wozniak to find the twine there. But for New Trier, and then right there, you see that they let one guy get away off a rebound, and there you blow your shit out. And right now, I think that's where, okay, that's the only reason you had Preston Watt in still, was to see if he could go the full 3-period shutout. Maybe you mix some guys in, see what you have, see what your depth is like, and test out some of these guys, because some of them have gotten meaningful minutes in games against good teams. I think back to a game that you and I did, Max, a 9-0 blowout against Stevenson, and you get all these players, these added experience, not to mention the fact that they're playing in a big-time game, an elimination game in the SHL Cup. So you figure, all that being said, you want to try to get the most out of every single player you've got on that route. You know right now what Brian Dolby can do, what Charlie Ackery can do, but what about the other guys? Maybe see what you got in some of your reserves, because who knows, an injury happens, someone goes down, it could play big later on. For Wozniak, that's his 6th goal of the season, and it's just good to see them finally get on the board. I mean, for Viator, it's probably a sigh of relief right now, because you think back to some of those power plays they were on. There were 2 pucks that went off the crossbar, not 1 but 2 on the same power play.
10 seconds apart.
Right, exactly, and just where is your mental at that point, and getting into the right headspace now. You just want to try to wipe it off, because right now you've got a chance to win the 3rd period. As strange as that seems, but if you can win a period, maybe you feel a little bit better about yourself heading into these state playoff games that just mean a little bit more. So we'll see how all of that translates going on, as we are now under 8 minutes to go here in this 3rd period. The running clock is on with the 6-goal lead.
So I promise I haven't left the broadcast, just took some time. Those goals and assists came so fast and furious there for a period. And had lost track of a couple of them, and that puck comes loose. That was sent the score sheet. Wanted to review to make sure we give you all the information. According to the official score, it is John Babnick that does now have a hat trick. Apparently the 5th goal, I had it credited to Max Zelazny. 5th goal apparently was to John Babnick. So he does have a hat trick. So I feel a little guilty that we didn't celebrate that for him as it happened. But happy to give him his due after the fact. Just to add, Charlie Ackery with 4 assists here tonight. With his 4 points, hasn't factored into the scoring, but certainly set his teammates up several times. Saw some outstanding passes from him. Syverston winds up, takes a shot. Wagner's darting down the ice, trying to make a play. On the Tarosian, but cleared out, and that comes bounding into the scorekeeper, and I believe that just hit the scorekeeper in the head. Oh, goodness. Oh, my goodness. I think it hit him right in the head. We get a thumbs up from him.
And he's not going to miss a shift. How about that?
That's Rodney Watt is the scorekeeper for New Trier. That's Preston Watt's dad. Gives a thumbs up. I think that puck hit him right in the head. He's up, but scary moment. He's getting a little bit of love from the New Trier bench too. I don't know if love's necessarily the right word, but I think hopefully he's doing all right. He's up. Seems to be doing okay. Clearly still committed to his job, writing something down on the score sheet. Hackett plays back. Syverston just misses his stick, clears the zone. And as loud as this place was, Tyler, about 80 minutes ago, you could hear a pin drop in this place right now. It's just the life sucked out, and you can credit New Trier for doing that. Here's going to be another power play that's going to go against St. Viator. It's going to be Kevin Euler heading back to the box. I'm not even going to try to catch up on all the penalties we had there in the middle of the second period. I could tell you there were a lot. If I could show you the score sheet, you would believe me.
State final penalty number 8, Kevin Miller, 2-minute penalty for roughing. Time of the penalty, 12 minutes of the third period. State final penalty, Miller, 2-minute score roughing at the 12-minute mark.
4:50 left here in the third period. Brian Dolby takes the puck. Swings it Simon Chong, back to Dolby. Dolby looks, far side circle, Liffendahl, back up top Chong. He shoots into the chest of Petreka and he squeezes it.
Grab the goal number 13, Matt Zelazny.
And they are going to give Zelazny that goal. I was going to say, because I remember seeing Zelazny on that 5th goal, the one that was credited to Babnick.
Is that what the PA
That's
just
what
announced?
they're talking about right now, yeah.
Well, I'll take credit for that then, because I
You
actually
should.
texted him and asked him. I thought the 5th goal.
Well, here's the thing is, I remember the goal that you're talking about, and Babnick, I don't believe, was near the play, and then I saw it was Zelazny, the one that was celebrating. So I was about to call him a fraud for his celebration of a goal that wasn't his, but he was rightfully credited with the goal.
Well,
and
I apologize, John Babnick, but I do have to take my praise of your hat trick away. Still an outstanding game for number 12 in green. Not a hat trick, at least yet. We'll see if he can win back that adulation. Here's Dolby back up top. Liffendahl winds up, shoots, knocked down in front, and Petreka knocks away with his stick. Behind the goal, sharp angle shot from Gallagher. Good save from Petreka. He's still battling. Again, shot, and into the glove of Gallagher. Been one of those games. Even the scorekeeper having some issues. Hasn't had the flow I think we all expected here. That's the end of the power play for New Trier. Puck. Still don't have a whistle. Finally, Petreka tosses it out. I think everyone was kind of looking at each other, not really sure what happened there. Didn't get a whistle. Petreka had the puck in his glove for what
St.
felt
Viator's
like.
probably thinking to themselves, oh, so you're not going to blow the whistle that time.
That's a great point. He had the puck in his glove for like 5 seconds,
Yeah.
kind of looked around, and then finally played it because, well, no one was taking a whistle. Now O'Rourke plays over to Ware, looking for his second goal. Fought off by Petreka. Charlie Ware plays on. O'Rourke rides him into the boards. Canana clears all the way down ice. That'll be an icing. So we talked about, folks, New Trier is going to go ahead and win the SHL championship. About as anticlimactic an SHL championship as I've called in my 4 years. In fact, I can guarantee you it is. As New Trier dominated from front to back. This is our last official SHL network game of the week, SHL game broadcast. However, we've alluded to it several times. The SHL network is incredibly proud and excited. We will be broadcasting all of the boys varsity red the boys varsity red quarterfinals and the semifinals live from the Edge Ice Arena. The quarterfinals will happen next Wednesday and Thursday. We'll have that live from the Edge. And of course the semifinals happening Sunday the 15th. Again, all that right here on the SHL network. Very excited that A-High has trusted us with that very important duty of bringing those quarter and semifinal games. Been a great collaboration with the people over at A-High. Gretchen Kochny, the marketing director, has been a great help to us and will be in the next few days as well as we prepare for the state quarter and semifinals. Of course, both these two teams hoping to make that round with games on Saturday and Sunday.
Well, for New Trier, a great season in the SHL. They've got, as Rob Bamford would call, that big hunk of metal sitting right next to them at that scores table that they will rightfully be lifting up at the end of this game.
So the clock ticks down, running clock with 15 seconds to go. Hugs all around, taps on the head, and I think that'll do it. I don't think they're going to drop the puck. New Trier Green, wire to wire. They won the regular season, and they win the SHL Cup. 7-1 your final in Game 3 here tonight. Tyler had plenty of time to talk about it throughout the broadcast, a dominating effort. And no question about it, the #1 team in the state showing themselves to be the #1 team in the state.
Absolutely. I mean, that was dominant from start to finish. You saw that early effort, really, and I mean, it was a classic New Trier win right there, where this team goes out, they get one, the other team kind of feels like their back's against the wall, even though it's just a 1-goal deficit, and then boom, it turns into 2, 3, 4, and what do you know? They slap a 7 on the scoreboard in the championship.
And now the two teams, there was some bad blood throughout this series, some questionable hits, some serious tempers, but after all, they will shake up. As we talked about it, there's a good chance we see this matchup again, and I think, thankfully for all of us, that matchup would be in the state championship at the United Center. That's the next time these two teams could see each other. I think, again, I think games 1 and 2 would be a lot better representation of what we would see in this Game 3. So the trophy ceremony coming here in just a moment. We will step aside as soon as those announcements start. Let you catch that audio from our PA. The SHL Cup is in the building. In fact, we'll step aside right now and let the trophy presentation. We'll come back, wrap things up here in just a couple of minutes. So that'll do it for us here from Centennial Ice Arena, as New Trier mobs their student section with the cup, the SHL Cup champions once again. I want to thank our great crew all season long. Matt Budin on the camera, doing a great job bringing all the sights and sounds. A proud New Trier student. No bias, of course, but we appreciate him all season long. Of course, Jimmy Olsen bringing all the great graphics, the replays, and all the rest. For Tyler Rocky, I'm Max Anderson. Thank you for joining us here for Game 3. And stay tuned. The SHL Network will host, in collaboration with AHI, the AHI State Quarterfinals coming up in 6 days. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we will talk to you again on Wednesday night.